Ahoy! Welcome into the junk drawer, part of the Korked Podcast Network. Carson Wentz is injured, which means it's official. Football season is back. Today is August 2nd, 2021. What is up, junkies? I'm Austin. That's AD. What's up, AD?
Get your Tom Brady is 43 jokes out now because tomorrow he turns 44.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Not enough people talk about how old Tom Brady is. And I think I may have heard a rumor that he plans to play for 5 more years.
Well, he's trying to beat that record. I think it was 48 is the limit that was set. So I think he's trying to beat that. And
whenever sports writers get bored, like if there's not a lot of content going out, they'll just hit us with the same old. Tom Brady says he plans to play for 5 more years.
And his trainer, of course, too.
Yeah, right.
And we're just coming from him.
Like, how many times are we going to rewrite this same story? The same old story of, oh, Tom Brady's ready to play it, run it back again. Tom Brady's not done yet. He wants the Super Bowl winning quarterback wants to play for 6 more years. It's like, shut up. Just shut up.
It's like Groundhog Day, waking up every day and just seeing the same news story about Tom Brady.
Is. Hey, we're legally obligated to say to subscribe, rate, and review. Since this is technically a podcast, subscribe, rate, and review to this podcast. We appreciate it. If you're watching the live stream, hit us with a retweet, share it. More people we get in here, the more fun it is. You can comment along.
Yeah, most importantly, comment. We need some comments in here today.
Yeah, throw some comments. We'll get you involved in the show if they're good comments. If they're sucky comments, you can kind of keep them to yourself. Right. But if you got something to add, if you got a hot take, if you got anything, a joke, whatever it may be, definitely throw them in the comments. And whether you're on Periscope, YouTube, Facebook, it doesn't matter. We will add them to the show and throw a little love your way for doing it. So hop in with us. Now, each week, AD and I hit you with a segment called Good, Back, and Ugly, which we will get to here in a second. But before we do, quick, AD, name a song.
Oh, wow. Take Me Home Tonight. Is that a song?
That's a song. That counts.
Okay,
that counts. Good job. Well done.
Wow, nice switch up. You really keep me on my toes there.
Right, because normally I say, AD, name a woman.
Simone Biles. She's been in the news a lot.
Simone Biles. That's good. Solid. Wow, that's probably your quickest answer ever.
I think because I was ready for it at that point. I was
you
waiting
were thinking. And then you had to come up with a song.
Wheels were turning.
Good job on you guys. Also, before we get into Good, Back, Ugly, I will remind you all to hashtag free Korked Bats. Our Instagram account still locked up, but we are working on it. And we may or may not have Korked Bats at Korked Bats 2 on Instagram locked up. We haven't posted anything from it, but we may be sitting on it just in case.
It's out there though. It's out there. So you can go follow at Korked Bats 2 for in case you want to. We may be posting something here soon. So we appreciate all of you guys who do. AD, let's go ahead and get into it. Good, back, and ugly time. It is time. And I sort of mentioned it off the top. Our friend Tom Brady, he's been in the news, and it's not just about his birthday. So as we know, he is turning 44 on Tuesday, August 3rd. So he does have that going for him. And he didn't quite get all that he wanted, let's say, for his birthday this year. At practice, we had a report come out today that Tom Brady would have been sacked on a play and punted the ball in frustration about 40 yards towards field 2. A pretty nice punt at Pewter Report made note of. So that just not only does that prove that Tom can do it all, even though he is almost 44, he's just still, he's still a great player. He's still a great leader. He's got that burning desire to act like a little baby, over something that happened in practice. But maybe that says something about the guy, actually. Like maybe that's why he's so goddamn competitive. Like that's why because he cares about the little stuff, You
think that the older you get, the less likely you are to throw a temper tantrum. But no, it's almost like the older he gets, the more like the more temper tantrums he's throwing. Because like you see it, like the later he gets in his career, the more like pouty and animated he gets on the sidelines. And it's like, dude, you've won 6 Super Bowl, or no, what, 7 Super Bowl titles,
7 Super Bowls, and he turns 44 tomorrow.
And he turns 44 tomorrow. Yeah, as if do you think anyone will post about that on social media tomorrow?
And how many goat emojis can we expect tomorrow?
Oh,
I think that's going to be the question. It's going to be a flurry out there.
The goat emoji is going to be worked more tomorrow than hot takers. Whenever freaking Brady wins a ring.
You know what else we'll hear is like, can he still compete at a high level? At age 44, can he still be that guy? And then we'll just have more goat emojis come out, and it's just gonna
look. I don't care if Tom Brady is 44 or if he's 54. If you have Rob Gronkowski, Leonard Fournette, Antonio Brown, and those Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, the 2 wide receivers that he had, the Bucks had even before last season,
who were Pro Bowlers,
you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be good. Odds are you're going to win the Super Bowl. Freaking Blaine Gabbert could have subbed in for Tom Brady halfway through that playoff run, and they probably still would have gone to the Super Bowl because their defense was that good and their offense is that explosive.
It's amazing to me that he just still always finds a way to be a headline. Like last week, what was it last week? He had the stupid jugs machine video. The week before that, he's making videos of Bitcoin, like him throwing the ball up to the moon. It's like, what? Does Tom like Bitcoin? Like what? He just has his hand in everything here.
Tom Brady's the Roger Goodell of players, to where he just finds a way to like keep relevant in the headlines. Find a headline. I wonder if like he's sitting at home and like how like most people have an alarm clock. He has like an alarm clock for like Google what's the freaking Google
Alexa.
No, the mentions like
alerts, Google alerts.
Google alerts. Yeah, like he has a Google alert to where it's like we're down to only 100,000 people searching my name. I gotta throw out a headline. I gotta get something out there quickly. And then he just quickly I don't know, puts together a video of him throwing a fake football into a fake jugs machine, and then people freaking lose their mind. Anyway, all right. Tom Brady, man. It's I just brace yourself, people. Brace yourself for tomorrow.
The goat emojis are coming.
The goat emojis are coming. Yeah. Do we want to give an over under for goat emojis?
Oh my gosh! If someone out there could even quantify that number, I would love to see those details. Because and normally, if you're going to post about them too, it's not just going to be one goat emoji. Like most likely, you're going to go 3. Like I think 3 is pretty standard when you're typing out emojis for a caption or something.
Right.
But we could also see 7 goat emojis. For the number of Super Bowls you won. People could get creative. Out there.
My gosh, I'm going to be sick to my stomach seeing all the goat emojis. And is it? Correct me if I'm wrong, but like when people, what really bugs me about the whole like goat debate is when people say goats, they're the goats. Like Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes, they're the goats. There's only one goat. There can only be one goat, right?
Well,
greatest of all time.
Aren't there some people that add like they say greatest of all times? Like there are some people out there that say that.
Well,
like,
apparently with the number of goat emojis floating out there.
So, okay. Yeah. So it's probably dependent on the person, but I agree. Like, especially in one sport, maybe if they're saying goats, like, Tiger Woods, Tom Brady, MJ, those type of goats, but I don't know.
All right. So for my good of the week, I am going with the Atlanta Braves. Because the Atlanta Braves might be the most impressive team in baseball. Okay. Like right now. And you're probably like, the Atlanta Braves aren't they in third place in the NL Central? I mean, the NL East. Yeah, they are. But you know what? They're hella impressive at doing it. You know why? Because they are doing something that no one else can do. Let me pull this up. this is one of the, to me, in my opinion, one of the coolest stats in the sport. All right. The longest stretch without a 2-game streak of wins or losses in MLB history. They have broken the record. All right. The 2021 Atlanta Braves. We are witnessing history, people.
This is
with
history.
The Atlanta Braves this season. All right.
Wow.
They have surpassed the 74 Phillies, the 81 Dodgers, the 2010 Rockies for the most number of games without winning or losing 2 games in a row.
That is extremely frustrating.
They have gone win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, up until 17 of them. 17 times the Braves.
Do you see my jaw right now? My jaw is like hitting my desk. I cannot believe that.
People want to say that the Braves are mediocre. No. The Braves are hella impressive. Okay. And they are the epitome of like, you know, like obviously like if a team wins a bunch of games in a row, you say, oh, they're so hot right now. Okay. The Braves aren't hot, but they're not ugly. You know, I debate about, do I put this in my good of the week or my ugly of the week? I mean, I really,
you're still torn. I think you're still
right.
torn.
I opted for good just because that's not ugly. This is the epitome of like, he has a great personality of stats. You know, like he's not hot, but he, you know, like, oh, he's good looking, but he's got a great personality. That's the Braves right now, because the Braves are a really fun team. They just can't win 2 games in a row.
String together some games. Yeah.
Right. But in their defense, they also can't lose 2 games in a row.
They cannot. You're right. Right.
And then they have fun personalities on their team. They're half their outfield. Ronald Acuna Jr. gets injured for the season, and they go out and they go get Jock Peterson and who else do they got? They got someone else at the deadline that just revamped their entire roster, and they're fun guys. The only problem is they can't win more than and you know, Braves fans are complaining that like, oh, they can't get over 500. They can't get over 500. Well, yeah, because they're doing this impressive streak right now. All right.
They've got something else going on there right now.
Right. In Major League Baseball, in the dead of summer, you want your team to be either really, really good or do something that you haven't seen before. And the Braves are doing the latter.
Well, and just the roller coaster of emotions for those fans of that team. Like,
but it's like, and that's a great point. That is a great point because
it's just a bumpy road, I guess. You're like up and down.
After a while, it's like riding a roller coaster 17 times in a row. After a while, this
isn't fun anymore.
You know the twists and the turns. Like if the Braves, let's see here, what did the Braves do last on Sunday? I should have had this prepped coming into it, but if whatever the Braves did on Sunday, they're going to do the opposite. They're off tonight. They're going to do the opposite on Tuesday.
So you can almost bet on it, right?
They lost to the Brewers, right? And this is if you're a gambler, they lost to the Brewers on Sunday. Bet, but they crushed them.
They crushed them on Saturday. So yeah, I'm pulling out my phone right now and
take out a second mortgage and put it all on the Atlanta Braves. All right. Who do they got? They got on Tuesday. The Braves have got the Cardinals, and the Cardinals, man. Yeah. That's another team that's, I mean, not near as impressive as the Braves have, but they've been, mediocre throughout the entire season. The Braves, listen to me, put your money on the Braves. I want to see this streak go. And look, I would love to see the Braves make the postseason. I like the Braves.
Mm-hmm.
But if
how many games out are they?
Part of me, the Braves are they're 4 games back. So they're still in like the race. Like they very well could make it, but like part of me like wants to see how long they can make this 1-1-1-1-1 streak go. I want to see the Braves keep winning a game, then losing a game, winning a game.
Well, they already have the record, right? So they just need to keep it going at this point.
Make the record
make it untouchable. Yes. Yes.
What is it? Joe DiMaggio's hit streak. Like that's like nobody will ever beat that record. Make this record unbeatable, Braves. Okay, go if you win on Tuesday, on Wednesday night. Just barely show up. Just swing at pitches that are out of the zone. Just go out of your way to lose that game. And then Thursday, show up to the ballpark and win again.
I mean, at this point, the players have to be aware of this. Like that, they hold this record. Like
Yeah, do you think
they're etched in the history books right now?
Like, it's got to be a mental thing at this point, right? They got to think like, oh well, we won last night, so
there's no chance. There's no chance we win today. Yeah,
right. Like they've got to be thinking that in the back of their head. Braves, it's just hella impressive. I think it's awesome. So
I'm rooting for them to win tomorrow, and then lose the next day. So
as we should, and I think we as a blog, AD Korked
need to embrace this. Yeah,
we need to be pulling for the Braves every other game, and then every other game we are the biggest Braves haters in the world. We're rooting for them, then pulling against them.
And maybe we should start putting money on it too, to make it even more interesting. Than
I think about that, dude. By the end of, if we bet every other game for the Braves in those 17 games, think about how rich we would be right now. We wouldn't even have to be doing this podcast right now.
No, we'd be doing it from a tropical location.
That is true, and I actually love that idea. Podcasting from Bora Bora. Get me on board.
Podcasting abroad.
Get me on board of Borda. Sorry, that was terrible. So what's your back? What's your back? All right. Hold on, I'll hit myself with it.
That one
was free. That one was free. That one right there.
You caught that one out there.
That was free. All right, AD, what do you got for your back of the week?
Well, I have two backs. My first back is my back because I threw it out last week.
Oh no, yeah.
And you did the same thing. Like, what was that? A couple months ago,
right? And
I know how you feel now. It is the worst feeling in the entire world. I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy.
It is awful. It is awful. And I part of me, when you texted me the other day, like I was wondering, like, is it a Huff thing? Is it a like is
both
is
of my parents have done it. Both of my parents. So
my dad did it. So, and our dads are brothers. So it's like,
okay, well, we might have. So Colin's next, I guess. My brother is next.
Yeah, your brother's definitely next. I would tell him to, like, he needs to be like that scene in Final Destination where he's just sitting in the middle of the room where he like duct tapes all the corners. Yeah, so he can't get hurt.
Like, and I did it such a freak way, like putting on a pair of shorts. So like it's embarrassing to even say that. So I wouldn't wish that upon anyone. I'm still hurting a little bit, but I am back a little bit.
All right. Well, I'm good. I'm glad you made it through. How long were you down for?
I mean, I was like down probably for 2 days, and then I could like move around a little bit the day after that. But if
you're on the live stream right now and you've ever thrown out your back, please hop in the comments. We want to hear from you.
And just be with us and sacrifice.
Yeah, really, honestly, we just need your mental support. We just need your support. That's all. Be like, yeah, I get it. Because
just raise your hand.
It's not something you understand until you go through it. And it's something, I'll admit, I didn't understand it until I went through it. And then you go through it and you're like, this is awful. I'd rather give birth than throw out my back.
I legitimately could not stand up. Like, the one morning it took me like 30 minutes just to even get up.
The most relatable text you sent me over the weekend when you were down and out for the count was when you texted me and said, I just went to the bathroom and it took me 25 minutes. That was me. That was like, I literally, like, every step was just a shooting pain up my spine. And it was
like holding onto the walls, like just not knowing like how to walk basically. And in my mind, I'm thinking, am I going to be like this forever?
Yeah.
Like, is this it? This is how I'm going to be for the rest of my life. I think
it's a safe question to ask. I legitimately do.
Luckily, but honestly, it's the mornings that are the worst though, because you're like super stiff when you're laying down.
Oh, when you wake up, the first thing waking up from a bad back.
It's so maybe no one else out there is throwing out their back, but at least you and I can vouch for each other how much it sucks.
Let this be a warning. If you haven't thrown out your back, odds are you probably will at some point. Let this be a warning. It is excruciating. It is bad. I think I've never passed a kidney stone, but like part of me wonders if like maybe passing a kidney stone would be better. Because like that's like painful, but it's like not as long.
It's a like shorter process, I guess. But
yeah,
that was the first thing that my mom asked if it was a kidney stone. I was like, I don't think so. But I don't want to go through that either. So I'm going to knock on wood and move on from there. But my other back of the week, the number 1 recruit in the nation, Quinn Ewers, out of South Lake Carroll, Texas. He decided to skip his senior year and enroll early at Ohio State. Do you know why he would do that? Did you see why he would do that?
I'm gonna go ahead and guess. Even if I didn't see it, I think I could have a guess. Is it the millions of dollars of money he would make at Ohio State as opposed to in high school?
Like allegedly, he can already sign like 7-figure deals, and he didn't even have to go to his senior year. I think it's setting a bad example, though, honestly, because the ultimate goal is to what? Get to the NFL.
This is like I mean, anyone should have been able to see this coming, because like, what was the big thing in college before NIL became a thing? Oh, players sitting out like their bowl games or sitting out their senior year so they could go pro and make money going pro.
Right. Because they don't want to get injured as well.
And now obviously, like, now that college players can get paid, it's just going to trickle down. And then eventually, if a rule gets passed where high school players can get paid, which, I mean, it's not too far out of crazy to think about.
It's something to consider now. Yeah.
Right. Now, once that goes down, once they start getting paid, then it's going to be like, are middle schoolers going to start getting paid? like, let's see how far we can go this. Like, I want to see if we can get like preschoolers, like, opting out of recess to see, like, just so they can go.
They don't want to get injured.
They don't want to get paid in elementary school. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's interesting to see that, like, you know, you won't see kids get college scholarships anymore. You'll see them get like sponsorship deals. Like, you're not going to, like, it's not even going to be about the school anymore.
If I'm the school and I'm like, oh, you're getting paid to come here. All right, you can pay for your own school. I'm
free education.
I'm charging them tuition like every other student, and like,
or at least room and board or something. Like, you don't.
Yeah, right.
Don't give them all for free. Yeah.
Look, if there's money to be made, you'll know that the schools will find a way to make it. And if the kids are getting paid, like, then clearly they don't need their school paid for them anymore. I mean, look, I think it's like, look, get paid for your name, image, and likeness. But it's also like, there's also going to be other things that come with it. Like, you have to just kind of, you have to recognize that.
And I think it sucks, you know, for like linemen, for like maybe a tight end or something,
punters.
Or punters. Like, they're not going to see a dime because no one really knows who they are anyway, unless they're like the best of the best.
I just love that this high schooler I think he's out of South Lake Carroll, Texas, which I'm pretty sure I know that's where Chase Daniel went. And then that's also where Drew Brees went.
And Nick Foles.
Nick Foles. Yeah. Quarterback, you know, it's a powerhouse, obviously.
It's a quarterback factory, apparently.
Yeah. I just love that this dude's going to be making like $1 million before ever even taking a snap at Ohio State.
And that's the other thing too. Like, so he's going to Ohio State early, but he's going to ride the bench for at least 2-3 years, right? So like, why would you even want to sponsor a kid that's not even playing yet?
You want to get in early when you can get him for cheap. But the funny thing about NIL that a lot of people don't recognize, but it's like, if you had a wide scope lens of society as a whole, you would see this. But it's like, everyone right now is championing.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one to say.
Is it championing?
Championing. Yeah.
Championing?
Yeah.
Championing. Everyone right now is championing for college players to get paid, because so much money has been made off of their backs, off of their name, image, and likeness.
The stadiums.
Yeah. There's money being made, and they're not seeing any of it. So everyone is fighting for those dudes to get paid and to make money. Now you're starting to see those dudes start to get paid. And it's a lot of, like, I mean, for the big names, not everyone's getting paid a lot. You know, like, there's no one at Missouri right now that's making a ton of money. No offense to my alma mater, but but there's not. Alabama, though, you're seeing 6-7 figures for these guys getting paid. Okay. Obviously, naturally, because it's a bigger school, bigger exposure. They're going to make bigger names of themselves just by playing in Alabama.
Right.
Once college football players make money, I keep doing this thing with my hands. I don't know what I'm doing. If you're listening on the podcast, I'm just doing a weird motion with my hands.
Once they do.
Yeah. It's helping my argument.
Yeah.
Once they get paid and they start getting paid handsomely, you got to know people are going to start turning on college players. People are going to start because think about it. We as Americans, we always root for the underdog, but when that underdog starts to become like starts to get paid what they're due, we see it all the time with internet celebrities, like, oh, they're grinding hard. And then all of a sudden they became famous. And then it's like, oh, well, we want to tear them down. Once you get to the top of that mountain,
we want to poke holes in them. Basically,
you want to get torn down. That's what people are going to do with these college athletes. They're like, once they start getting paid, they're like, well, they don't deserve that much. Like, they're going to start arguing because people are going to be unhappy that they're not getting paid that kind of money. But when you're not getting paid any money, people will fight for you and they'll try and get you to the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
Then once you get to the top of the mountain, we see it all the time in society. Yeah. So it's only going to happen with these college players. Like, it's still
that's a great point
to where you're not going to see it right now. But once this like becomes mainstay, like 2, maybe 3 years in, you're going to see like these guys started getting ripped to shreds for signing 7-figure deals. And I mean, like,
I can already feel myself getting mad thinking about the car or, whatever this senior in high school. I mean, that's what he is. We'll call him senior in high school is about to buy because hasn't even played a snap yet. I mean, like,
so if you're already feeling that, think
exactly.
about like what regular society, and like, you're a pretty even-tempered guy. Not a lot like makes you frustrated or angry. Think about like the way the rest of society is going to feel when they start seeing, college freshmen driving around in Rolls Royces because they can buy them. And it's like, well, what the heck? Like, they haven't even done it. Like, people are going to push back on, I don't know if they'll push back on NIL, but it's like, they're going to push back on how much money these dudes are making.
Yeah. It'll be, we're going to see it very soon too, because college football is approaching. And then I have a feeling, they can already start getting paid, right? That goes into effect immediately.
Yeah.
So there's going to be some people rolling up into games, with like the flashy cars, like the flashy clothes, like NFL players do now, but like that's going to be, they're just 18-year-old kids basically. So we're going to see a lot of people that are going to really show their true colors on how they feel about the situation, and just college athletes getting paid. Because I know someone I work with that he like is not going to like college football anymore, and that's all he lived for. He hated the NFL because they got paid. So it'll be, there's going to be a line in the sand that's going to be drawn for sure.
And with all of this change coming at once, college football is just going to look different over the next 5-10 years. It's going to, I don't know. I don't think it'll be for the better. I think there's going to be a lot of yearning for college football, what we've known the last decade plus. And
people are going to want the BCS back.
I want the BCS back. I've wanted the BCS back since the freaking college football playoff started. Because
I agree. The college football playoffs is 4 teams is not enough.
Well, it's really the committee that I have an issue with. We don't need humans deciding which school gets in, because you have human bias.
There's bias.
Bias, inherent bias with everyone. Who doesn't have bias? Computers, algorithms. They don't have bias. They literally just crunch the numbers, and that's why I'm okay with the college football playoff. If you want to keep it, that's fine. I still think.
Would you expand it though? Are you in favor of expanding it?
No, because that's only going to make it worse. It's only going to make it's going to make this season less interesting. Right now, Alabama can lose in the Iron Bowl, the last game of the season, and still make it to the college football playoff. That's not college football used to be fun because every single week was do or die.
Every game mattered.
It's not that anymore. College football is not that anymore, and it's kind of. And people are like, yeah, well, more teams get a shot at playing for the championship. Why do I don't think more teams deserve a shot at playing for the national championship. The BCS used to give us the the top 2 teams every single season. The top 2 is the most elite of the elite. Think of it. I always compare the college football playoff to Facebook. Okay. You remember when Facebook was, you could only get on Facebook with a .edu password. Yes.
Yeah.
That when it was exclusive was when it was cool. And then they started opening it up to high schoolers. Then they opened it up to everyone.
That was me. That was me. I got the Facebook right away.
Yeah, right. When they opened up to high schoolers, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And I was in college at that time, and I was pissed because I had to wait to get a .edu email address before I could even sign up. And then all of a sudden, they just opened up to high schoolers. So that's what the college football playoff will be like. In theory, it's awesome. It's like, oh man, that'd be awesome if if I could connect with my grandmother on Facebook, because then it'd be so much easier to communicate with her. Like in theory, it's great. But then when it actually happens, you realize, oh, this kind of sucks. It was a lot cooler when it was just us, exclusivity. The same thing is going to happen with the college football playoff. You're going to have like a number 8 ranked Toledo one year in the college football playoff. And it's like, they're going to have like 3 losses, and you're going to be like, why are they even in the playoff? Oh, because
they won the map.
It to 8. Yeah, exactly. So, oh man.
I really like that comparison you just made with Facebook, though, because that and then we saw the shift from people moving from Facebook to Instagram, and like now it's like we're almost seeing the same thing happen to Instagram. So it's crazy the way the cycle works. So
the exclusivity, when there's not a ton of people on it, that's when it's great. But then once everyone starts getting on it, that's when it starts falling to crap. And I'm scared that that's what's going to happen to the college football playoff. You're going to allow 8, maybe 12, maybe 16 teams in this thing. And then it's going to be like, well, now it's not, that's fun. Look, people say, well, the NFL does it and the NFL is still popular. Then watch the NFL. Why does the college football need to be the NFL? One of the reasons we love college football is because it's not the NFL.
Well, now that they're getting paid, though, I think it takes a little bit out of it. Yeah, I don't know.
Might as well just make the whole thing. Yeah, go ahead and make Roger Goodell the commissioner of college football.
One league, yeah.
Oh my gosh! All right, so I've got a back of the week, and my back of the week is the I don't know if you guys, I don't know. Let me see if I can pull this up. All right. I'm just going to say it. It's OJ. It's OJ. Yes. All right. OJ, guys, is back on Twitter. Okay. It's my back of the week. And you're like, oh, you mean OJ Simpson, the juice? Oh, you mean the guy from the Naked Gun movies? Oh, the guy from those old Hertz commercials? Oh, the old NBC sideline commentator? Yep, that OJ. Also the OJ who allegedly
he's an author.
Double homicide. Oh, he's
an author as well. Yeah.
He's an author of a famous book called If I Did It. So OJ's out here encouraging people to get the shot. And I want to play just a little bit of this if I can. Hopefully you can hear it.
Hey, Twitter world.
Can you hear that?
Barely.
I don't know why. Oh, hang on. I've got to figure out how to get this.
Hey, Twitter world.
Let me see if I can.
He's obligated to start his videos that that way. If he doesn't, then it's not actually him.
Look, he's staying on brand. Like you can knock OJ for all you want, but you can't deny the fact that he is on brand. And I don't know why I can't figure out why I can't get the sound on here. Okay. Well, anyway, so basically OJ is convincing everyone to get your shot. And AD, my question is, I can't figure out if if OJ Simpson is the best or worst person to be encouraging others to get stabbed by a needle. Like, does this make you want to get a vaccine? Like, if you're not vaccinated and OJ's like, you should get vaccinated, are you more likely to get vaccinated or less likely to get vaccinated?
That's a great question. But he didn't actually say stabbed in the video, did he?
no, he did not.
Okay, I'm glad. Okay, I'm glad those words weren't used, because then I would feel really less inclined if I was on the fence of getting the vaccine or not.
Ed Benton Webb says the juice is loose. The juice is technically still not loose. I think he's confined to the state of Nevada. I don't think he's allowed to leave yet. But
he is still. like house arrest, sort of?
I think so. Yeah, I think he's under parole for the rest of his life, if I'm not mistaken. But that, hey, look, doesn't stop him from hitting the golf range every single day.
Or talking to the Twitter world out there.
Oh, hello, Twitter world. It's yours truly. He never says his name either, which is smart because that's someone who you can tell has been through the penal system before. He's never throws his name out there.
He's not going to admit. Yeah.
Yours truly. It could be anyone. That could be an OJ.
Your Honor, that's not me. Your Honor, that's not me.
That is not me. So OJ, I don't know. If you're unvaccinated, AD, which are you? If you don't mind me asking, are you unvaccinated?
I am vaccinated.
You are vaccinated.
Enough to say that. Yeah.
So let's say you're unvaccinated. OJ comes out and is like,
and I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence right now.
Right. You're like,
if I'm going to
do
or not.
it, you know, like this Delta variant is rising. Like, do I get it or not? Like, I can't decide. And then OJ Simpson comes out and drops this video. Like, do you think any single person in America was scrolling through Twitter, unvaccinated, and they're just like, OJ Simpson. Well, let me watch this 48-second video.
I respect OJ, his opinion.
Right.
I'm gonna go out there. I'm hopping in my car now. Yeah.
You know his opinion I really want to know about this whole thing? You know, there's so many talking heads out there. It's a left and right battle. It's become political somehow. Don't ask me how, and then OJ comes out and is like, hey, Twitter world, it's me, yours truly. Just encouraging you all. The COVID rates are rising and hospital spots, and he's, the hospitals are getting more and more full. So you should get vaccinated. Like, if OJ tells you to get stabbed by something, are you doing it?
Is that what he said though about like hospitals? Because I didn't actually see the video, but like hospitals were going up in numbers or something or what?
Yeah, I don't think I can.
It's like very
yeah, I think it's coming choppy through on my mic, but
the other thing I love about this video is that he left his readers up on top of his head.
Oh yeah. What was he reading right before making this video?
You can picture it though. Like he had the glasses down just a second ago and he was figuring out how to get to the camera on his phone. And he's like swiping through like his pages of apps, and then he like finally gets there and he's like, oh, there it is. And then he pulls it up and then he's like, hello, Twitter world.
Ben Webb says OJ is now the voice of reason in America. Go figure. Did we just go 180 on OJ? OJ's out here trying to save lives. Talk about a plot twist.
Yeah. Didn't see that one coming.
Oh my gosh. Damn, OJ. Look.
Like the actual OJ chase, like whenever he was in his Bronco, what year was that?
That was 94.
94.
Yeah.
So imagine if you were in a coma since 95 and you woke up and you're like,
no. And imagine you go into a coma right before 94. So like 93. OJ still the anchor for NBC,
news correspondent,
NBC Sports. Yeah, he's making those Hertz commercials. He's in Naked Gun. He's starting his acting career
on top of the world.
You fall into a coma in 1993. You wake up August 2nd, 2021, and you flip on, and someone shows you Twitter, gives you a quick rundown.
Like, I'm gonna follow some of my favorite people.
Yeah, you're scrolling through. Oh, OJ Simpson, cool. He's got a Twitter account, and he's like. And he's encouraging people. First of all, you'd have to get filled in on a lot of different things. First of all, what a smartphone is, what social media is, what this freaking COVID is. You'd have to get filled in on a lot. But then finally, you're scrolling through Twitter and you see OJ encouraging people to get vaccinated. And you're like, wow, OJ still is a great guy after all these years.
And then like the person next to you is like, oh no, like we've got to tell him.
Yeah. If your buddy was like in that coma, would you tell him? I feel like you can't tell him right away. You have to ease him into it.
He still had like, just let him go back and through the years on his own. Like he needs to catch up. He needs to catch up on his own.
He does one Google search of OJ and like, oh dear God.
And no, first they're like, oh, he wrote a book. Like,
yeah. Oh, if I did it, if I did what? What is if I did what? Oh my gosh! You mean Nicole? No.
No.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, not to make light of any of that, but just the idea of OJ
just
is
OJ.
now the as Benton Webb said, OJ is now the voice of reason in America. That's a plot twist. OJ out here trying to save life. Biggest biggest plot twist out.
Career change.
I don't think any of us could have seen this one coming. So anyway, all right. Oh wait, I think I had one more. Oh, I did have. Okay, so I had two real quick backs of the week. So Aaron Rodgers, you know how we feel about Aaron Rodgers. Like, I like him, but I'm also kind of pissed at him that he took an MVP away from Derrick Henry.
Right.
So he was caught.
Yes.
He was caught riding around Green Bay. All right. So Aaron Rodgers being in Green Bay, first of all, that's my other back of the week. Okay. But not just riding around. He's doing so in a golf cart, but not just any golf cart, in a brand new Aston Martin golf cart. All right. And he's blaring. He has a sound system in it too. He's blaring Counting Crows. Holiday in Spain, I'm pretty sure. Holiday in Spain by Counting Crows. I mean,
interesting choice.
It's a very interesting choice. I like Counting Crows, but for blaring around, driving around town in Green Bay, I don't know if I'm like going.
Well, maybe he's just trying to fit in. He's just trying to fit in Green Bay.
Maybe
I've never been to Green Bay.
I was gonna say, is Green Bay a big Counting Crows territory? I don't know.
That's something I'm not quite sure. But you know where he got that golf cart from, right?
From his teammate, right?
Yeah, his one lineman. I always butcher his name.
Nick Bakhtiari.
Bakhtiari, yeah. I always butcher that name.
First of all, it must be nice. Geez, get a freaking Aston Martin golf cart. My question is, why would you spend money on a name brand golf cart? I understand the importance of buying name brand things. Don't get me wrong. You know, especially like when it comes to like cereal, certain types of clothing, tires. Like there are certain things that get
toilet paper.
Toilet paper. Oh, toilet paper is a great one. Good call on that one. Like, there are certain things that you want to spend at the extra money on the name brand items. Golf carts doesn't crack that list for me. I'm not like, I think if you own a golf cart, that's like prestigious enough, you know, because it's like, it's usually like wealthy people that like don't know what to do with themselves, like own the golf carts. Like if you own a golf cart, that should be status symbol enough. Why do you need a Aston Martin golf cart? Why do you need a Mercedes golf cart? I just don't understand.
Well, I'm trying to figure this out. Is it actually an Aston Martin, or did they just throw Aston Martin on the front of it?
That's a great question.
I've never even heard of Aston Martin even being in the golf cart space, I'll say. But I think my favorite part about the golf cart was that, like, whenever he first got it, I don't know if it's still on in that video, but there was like pink fuzzies around the whole steering wheel.
Oh, was there?
Yeah, here, I'll pull it up here.
To me, like golf carts, to me, there's two brands of golf carts: Club Car and Easy Go. You know, like any golf course you go to in America.
Yes, you're right.
It's either Club Car or it's Easy Go. And any other brand, you're just like if you own a Club Car or if you own an Easy Go, that should be status symbol enough than just the freaking, like, you don't need an Aston Martin golf cart. That's being excess. You're doing too much. Say less, fam.
So it's hard to tell from this video, but it does kind of look like Aston Martin on it.
It looks like they made one.
It says hand built in England too. Like it. And then what? It also had the MVP. Oh, look, you see the pink fuzzy steering wheel?
Yeah. It says MVP on there?
Yep.
Right son of a bitch.
He's got all three
that
right there.
2020 was Derrick Henry's. We all know it.
Everyone knows it except for him, apparently.
Loving 69. That's great. Oh, that's nice that he actually got the license plate, because it is street legal. It's a street legal golf.
Well, it's an Aston Martin. I hope so.
Yeah, right. So he can take that, which is why you saw him on the video
cruising around town.
It is street legal, which is with the license plate that officially makes it street legal. So,
and I don't want to like trash on Green Bay too much because I've actually never been there. So it could be a beautiful place.
It could be beautiful. We don't know.
But I just picture Aaron Rodgers having like the biggest house in the city, like up on a hill.
Like, if there are hills in Green Bay.
Yeah, if there even is a hill, I don't even know. But like, just like a huge yard fenced in. And I feel like he just like, is there most of the time in Green Bay. Like almost like the king of Green Bay. I mean, he has the keys, right? Like,
right.
I mean,
without question. He could kill someone and still run for mayor and win in a landslide election. My question is, are we shocked that Aaron Rodgers is a vanity plate guy? That to me is the least surprising of this entire thing.
No.
Like, whether Nick Bakhtiari got that cart and the license plate for him or not, let's be honest, Aaron Rodgers is getting a vanity plate.
Without question.
He's getting something like cutesy on his license plate, like,
or like
number 69
or like number 12 or like
12 for
MVP. MVP or something
dumb. Oh gosh. Anyway, I like Aaron Rodgers, but I also hate Aaron Rodgers. All right. Last thing I'll for my back of the week is conference realignment. Okay. So since we were last on this podcast, Texas and OU, they made the move to the SEC. All right. And this was like
2025, right? Or that's like when it's official.
That's when it is official.
So that's going to send some shockwaves throughout the whole Big 12 and potentially blow up the whole thing, right? Like, I think that's the only option for that conference.
Well, you have to think like it's probably going to it's going to be tough for the Big 12 to bounce back from both those schools. Then that's two powerhouse schools leaving their conference. Kind of sucks. But now all of a sudden, and we saw this in 2010 when Nebraska and Colorado first left the Big 12 because of Texas and OU, then all of a sudden the dominoes started falling. You had more teams joining the Pac-12. You had more teams joining you had Texas A&M and Missouri leave for the SEC. All of that. All right. And so over the last week, we've seen a lot. And it was a long week full of a lot of headlines without very much actually happening. Because at first, Texas and OU were rumored to announce their departure from the Big 12. Then they announced their departure from the Big 12. Then they were rumored to apply for the SEC. Then they officially applied to the SEC. Then the SEC was rumored to have received their application. Then
we had the whole process.
The SEC received their application. Then the SEC then reviewed their application. Then the SEC was rumored to vote on the addition. Then the SEC voted on the addition. The SEC was rumored to approve their applications. The SEC then approved their application.
I didn't even see all this. So this did happen very fast.
Oh yeah, Texas and OU then became SEC members officially in 2025. But also maybe sooner. So it's like the whole thing.
Because they're going to break their contract with the Big 12.
But since Texas and OU, all they care about is Texas and OU. Obviously, they leave behind a conference that they had walked all over. They had controlled. They had owned for so long. The Big 12 bent over backwards for Texas and OU. And still Texas and OU 10 years later decide, you know what? We're going to still screw you over. It's funny. I explained this whole thing to my wife, Meredith, who's not a big sports fan, but I explained it all to her. Like, she gets enough about sports to understand. She just hit me with two things. She goes, bullies and terrorists, two people you never negotiate with. You never or she goes, two people you never give in to.
Yeah. I mean, I love that take.
That's smart. It's a smart take. You never give in to bullies or terrorists, which in this case, I would believe that Texas is the terrorist and OU is the bully.
So there you have it.
So So now all of a sudden the dominoes are continuing to fall. Today we get the report that Clemson and Florida State have reached out to SEC about joining the conference. You're going to hear a lot of these rumors.
No way. Wow. I did not see that one either.
You're going to hear a lot of these rumors and a lot of things. I don't know the validity of it. But I did hear. So last week I heard John Skipper on Dan Le Batard's show, former ESPN president.
He said something very, very interesting that was actually my ugly of the week, but go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, I probably won't hit on it. I'm just going to talk in generalities of what he talked about. He said basically the most important factor when looking into conference expansion is geographical territories, primarily states. Conferences want to enter states that they're not already in. Like that is it is in their best interest to, if they're going to expand into states that they're not currently in, which is one of the reasons, if you think about it, why the SEC made the move for Mizzou and A&M. That's why that made so much sense. They're not good athletic programs. They don't elevate the athletics of the SEC very much. Maybe in some certain sports, but not all. So their athletic programs may not be the best, but they gave them the states of Texas and Missouri, which is what A&M did not already have. Oklahoma gives them the state of Oklahoma, which the SEC does not have. And you're not going to turn down a brand like Texas because it's so big. Like, you're not going to turn them down. But when it comes to Clemson and Florida State, that's two states that the SEC is already in.
They do have, yeah.
South Carolina and Florida. You're not like that. It doesn't, sure. If you think of it from just a sports level, it elevates them. But if you think of it from the actual level that the conferences actually think about these things, which is money and growing and growth, Clemson and Florida State does not help the SEC outside of that, because it's two territories that they would already be competing in.
Yeah, but you have to figure that, on game day, there's going to be, if there was a conflict, half of those people are going to be watching Clemson, and then the other half are going to be watching South Carolina.
Sure. But the ratings don't necessarily play as much into the long-term numbers as you would think, because those are one-time negotiations with the ad dollars. So you're not making that money. You're not making more money if a Clemson game is viewed more than a South Carolina game. Same thing with Florida State. So really what it's about is knocking, like if North Carolina wanted to join the SEC, I think the SEC would probably be more interested in that, because then you bring in the Charlotte market, then you bring in a whole new state of North Carolina. And that's what's most important to these conferences, is what states can we get into? All right. Now, with all that said, AD, I want to play a game with you. Okay.
All right. I like games.
I know you love games. And
I'm just a big gamer.
You're a big gamer, dude. Just such a big gamer. So for good, back, ugly, I've got a list of schools. I'm going to read off a list of schools, and I want you to tell me which conference you think they would fit best in. Okay.
All right. I can do that. All
right. Let's start with the schools we were talking about. Clemson. What conference do you think they would best fit in?
I mean, I could actually see them in the SEC and competing in the SEC.
All right. And really,
they're already in the South. They're in the South, right?
Right. It makes sense.
South, what about Eastern Conference?
They are in the Southeast. I mean, yeah, they're in the South and the East. Right. So yeah,
checks both boxes.
What about Florida State?
I mean, they've got pretty good athletics, right? So
sure.
What better place than the SEC?
Right. Okay. All right. How about Miami?
I mean, the U hasn't been the U, quite some time, but if they join the SEC, I could totally see that working out for them.
How about let's go to one of our favorite schools, Penn State.
Well, I guess the only issue here is if the Big Ten were to disband and, they're not necessarily in the South, but I think they could be a good fit in the SEC.
Okay. All right. Let's stay in the Big Ten. Let's go to Michigan.
It's the same thing. I mean, they've got the fans, they got the stadium. It could be SEC football.
All right. How about Ohio State?
Ohio State's another great example of the SEC brand. I think they embody that, and they might as well just create a whole other division with these teams, and it's just the SEC.
How about Stanford? Let's go out west.
I mean, is the Big 12 going to be looking for people? Because maybe they should join the Big 12, but they could also probably play in the SEC.
SEC? Okay.
Yeah.
Cal.
SEC.
Yeah, I was going to say the same.
Yeah.
What about USC?
I mean, they are prime candidates for the SEC.
Yeah.
Southern.
Let's go a couple of MAC schools. Bowling Green.
Oh. SEC.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing myself.
Yeah.
Toledo.
Another great school. SEC.
Yeah. How about Akron?
SEC.
You're right. You know, the way, I mean, the more you say it, the more I agree with Kansas State.
Sure. SEC. Bring them in.
Okay. And lastly, Kansas.
I don't know if they necessarily fit the mold for.
I don't think they fit anywhere. Maybe just leave them.
Relegate them to a different league.
What's an FBS or an FCS conference? Maybe put them in one of them. I don't know.
The Mountain Conference.
Okay. Yeah. Well, the Mountain Conference. I don't even know if that's a real conference, but
in Kansas. Mountain West. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. All right. Let's quickly get to our uglies of the week.
So John Skipper, I think it was the same show that you were talking about. He did an interview with Levitard. He says that John Skipper thinks the Super Bowl could be pay-per-view in the future.
Ooh.
So when I heard that, I feel like I'm conflicted because I would obviously pay for it, no matter who was playing. But I do think that it would hurt. Just the way we're moving as in general with streaming and all these different services. Like, it's not a surprise to me that he would say that because it's like an event, right? Like it's like any of these fights that happen. Like the big Logan Paul fight, people were buying that fight just to watch it. Like,
and that's as dumb can get when it comes to live sporting events.
And it's something that I don't want to see happen because I like that it's normally on cable television because it probably boosts their numbers. But I think it'd be pretty cool if it was pay-per-view. And I think it would probably generate, I don't know if it would generate more money, but I don't know. I just,
as a sports fan, I hate it. I hate the idea of it because I just, just the complexity of like having to, are you buying the Super Bowl this year? Like, are you buying it? Are we going to, like, whose house are we going to? Because,
are we pitching in? Can we, Venmo me that money?
Like right now, the only thing you have to Venmo is like for like the cheese dip. Your Super Bowl party. I don't want to have to worry about throwing in the game into that Venmo that I'm already throwing out there. I just don't, the idea of, and let's be honest, we probably all hate the idea, like in theory, of just having to pay for something that we've gotten for free for 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
But we would all pay for it if it came to it. Like we would still all watch it. We'd still all pay for it. It wouldn't change the fact if we would watch it or not. It would change the fringe people. It would change the people that only watch for the halftime show or whatever. And honestly, if they make the Super Bowl pay-per-view, they'd probably make just the halftime show pay-per-view as well. Like they would work around that. So
my question to you is what would be like your threshold? Like what, and reach out in the comments too. How much would you pay to watch the Super Bowl? So what is your ultimate like deal breaker that you would say,
if it's like $150 to watch the Super Bowl, like would you go like chip in with a bunch of dudes to watch that? You have to think a lot of people would because it's the only way to get it. Like, and it is interesting because I think that would kill ratings and it would like every year the Super Bowl breaks records, the most viewed thing of all time.
Yeah.
But you like it's on network television. It is on. You don't even need cable to watch the Super Bowl. Okay, so that right there is already putting it in millions of homes worldwide. And then, with all the streaming numbers and everywhere that it's broadcasted across the world, it just becomes huge. Now, if you put it behind a paywall, you're automatically going to take numbers off of that because you're not going to be able to put it on at your Circuit City. I'm sorry, Circuit City. They haven't been around in forever.
Circuit City. What? That's like a blast from the past, right there. That's like, and you. Circuit City, like that. Were you thinking about Circuit City earlier? Like where did that come from? I was thinking of like a TV. I was thinking of like one of those like electronic stores where it has like a ton of TVs. It just has all the TVs up, like
obviously, like if the Super Bowl's on, they're gonna put the Super Bowl on all those TVs. I don't even know if those
like someone's gonna go to Circuit City to watch
Best Buy, maybe. Like, but even Best Buy still do they still have the TV sections? I don't know. Maybe a Walmart,
Costco. I don't know.
Costco. We're talking about good.
TV wholesalers now.
Oh my god! I can't believe I went with a Circuit City blast.
Circuits, you could have went anywhere with that.
I literally anywhere that's been, I don't know, in business the last 20 years.
I think for me, the most I'd be willing to pay.
And our guy Dylan Taylor's in. I'll just rent the Super Bowl for my local.
There he is.
All right.
Speaking of dead companies.
Yeah, well done, Dylan.
I think the threshold for me personally, like what I would be willing to pay, is probably $100. But that to me seems really steep because
that is really steep.
Like I think it would probably be something like $20, but what would they even set the price at? Because I think about all the bars that show the Super Bowl, so like that too. It just does not seem like a good idea for the NFL.
But I mean, they would make a lot of money off it, more money than they're making off of it right now, even with all the ad dollars. Because I think John Skipper's point in making the Super Bowl go pay-per-view was there's a ceiling that you will reach when it comes to ad dollars. Like there is a ceiling. People aren't going to just continue to pay more and more money for Super Bowl ad space. And it is increasingly going up. People aren't going to pay $20 million for a 30-second spot.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
No time soon, at least. And with the way prices are going up, like you're going to start to see like, a little bit of a pushback because it's not worth it. Like companies can find value in the internet. Companies can find value in other ways more than like the exposure that they get in a 30-second spot on the Super Bowl. So why would you not like there is a ceiling, and that's where John Skipper was saying like you could see the pay-per-view model come to the Super Bowl.
Or it could be something like ESPN Plus, where you need to have ESPN Plus to watch the Super Bowl, which wouldn't necessarily be pay-per-view, but it would require you to sign up for an account and get ESPN Plus. But I just hope that it doesn't go that way. But the way things are moving with all the streaming services and everyone's got one, like I can't even watch the Olympics without them trying to throw me into Peacock or something. I was in there the other day and I was so confused. I don't know if do you have Peacock?
I've messed around with Peacock. Peacock is very confusing.
I'm like, did I just enter like an alternate universe? Like what? Right. What is this space that I'm in right now? Like there's just like cable, but it's somewhere else.
It is. It literally is an alternate universe. That's the best way. What is the serververse in Space Jam 2? That's Peacock.
That's Peacock. Yeah,
that is Peacock. LeBron got stuck in Peacock to play that basketball game to get out of it to save his.
Now the movie makes sense to me.
The movie makes sense if you've ever.
I actually think
Peacock,
I like it better.
Yeah, if you've ever scrolled Peacock, like Space Jam 2 makes sense to you. All right, so the real quick before Dylan Taylor's in with a not ugly of the week. AD's hat. 80s camo bucket hat for the Pirates. Not ugly of the week.
I can flip it around for Dunkin' Donuts on this
no
side.
free ads. No free ads.
Yeah. So that's why I'm leaving it over here.
Not until Dunkin' starts paying us will we hit them with that. So my ugly of the week before we get to the Frank fact, my ugly of the week is MTV just turned 40, which I love MTV. I grew up on MTV. I would assume we all did.
We've talked about MTV a good bit recently.
With Cribs, them
Cribs.
rebooting Cribs. We talked about Room Raiders. Next. How about Next? Gosh.
Road Rules.
Road Rules. The Challenge is huge. Real World. The MTV has had some phenomenal programming over there today. And I know the knock is, MTV Music Channel, they don't play music. And trust me, I get that. I'm with that. I hate the fact that they haven't played music. But it's also like they've had good shows on. Like when we were growing up.
There's been a couple good shows.
There have been some good programming. Okay. So AD for their 40th anniversary was, I believe, on Sunday.
Happy anniversary.
Since they hit air, happy anniversary to MTV. If you were the president of MTV, what would you do to celebrate the big 4-0? Because I want to get your answer, but then I'm also going to share you with what they actually did on their 40th anniversary. Okay. So how would you, like, if you're the president of MTV, like what would you say? Like, okay, this is what we should air on our channel to honor 40 years of music television. Maybe
some throwback. What was it? The Daily Show what was it with Chris Carson?
Carson Daly.
Chris Carson.
TRL.
The Seahawks running back.
Chris Carson hosted LRT, a little different show.
Maybe some of those shows, or maybe like Pimp My Ride or something.
Chris Carson hosted CTE. Carson Daly hosted TRL.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I don't. Maybe some Pimp My Ride episodes. I don't know.
Okay. Personally, I would say like maybe do like each hour celebrate a different decade. If you've been around for 4 decades, just do a different decade, like 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s.
That's actually really smart.
Play some music videos from each decade, maybe some of the old TV shows from each decade. Like really celebrate the 40 years. Do you want to know?
Bring some audience back in to MTV,
right? Because if you were an 80s baby, or if you're like me, a 90s baby, like odds are you're interested in MTV because you grew up on it. So like what's a way to get them back at very least for one day of programming? Play the oldies, play the hits. Every musician knows the way to fame is you play the hits. No matter how much you're tired of playing them, you play the hits because that's what people want to hear. So what does MTV do for their 40th anniversary? You want to know?
Yeah, please.
Get ready for this.
I know it's not good.
Okay. I'm just going to add this. All right. So that's the stream. And I don't know if you can see it. I don't know how big your screen is, if you can read it or not. Here, I'll go ahead and zoom in. 24 straight hours of ridiculousness.
Are you kidding me?
24 straight hours of ridiculousness. Now, look, I love Rob Dyrdek as much as anyone, okay? But 24 hours of anyone is too much, let alone Rob Dyrdek for 24 hours just doing his version of America's Funniest Home Videos.
Did they make the most money off that show? Is that like, is there a reason behind this? Or is this just like
there's got
some
to
sort
be,
of sick joke?
There's got to be a crowd out there somewhere that is watching this show to the point where it is probably, speaking of the Super Bowl, ridiculousness is probably rating better than the Super Bowl.
They could move to pay-per-view for ridiculousness. I heard that somewhere.
Ridiculousness on pay-per-view with the apparently the demand there is for it. Look at this: 6 a.m. on August 1st to 5:30 a.m. on August 2nd. Just 24 straight hours in 30-minute increments of ridiculousness.
I'm actually mad I didn't know this ahead of time. Maybe I would have tuned in.
I'm actually mad there's that many episodes of ridiculousness. How many different times can you watch the same internet videos of dudes getting racked in the nuts and you have something new to say about it? Like, think about how many times Rob Dyrdek has reacted to someone getting a nut shot on TV, and it aired as an episode.
Isn't his sister on the show too? So it's like his sister like laughing in the background too.
Yeah, is that his sister? That little blonde? She's cute.
I don't know if it is, but I think it is.
Let's say she's Rob Dyrdek's sister.
It's his sister. Yeah.
Yeah. She's Sarah Dyrdek. All right. So she is giggling up a storm. She doesn't add anything to the show. She's very cute, very pretty, but she doesn't add anything to the show is not any better because she's sitting there. And then there's always like a third person. There's always a third person sitting off to the side, also reacting.
And by the way, that's not his sister. So I totally just made that up out of thin
air. Who is it? Do you know? Do you have
oh shoot. I guess I could have just said who is the girl on Ridiculousness.
All I'm saying is it's ridiculous how much ridiculousness MTV aired on their 40th anniversary. 40 years of music television, of iconic television, of groundbreaking. Like I must have my MTV, Moon Man, VMAs, Miley twerking at the VMAs, just iconic moments in television history. 40 years of it. And it all comes down to ridiculousness.
If you had to guess how many seasons there were of Ridiculousness, do you know
I mean, this right here is over one season, 24 hours of a show. That's over 23 episodes. That's 48. That's 48 episodes right there. So I would say, oh gosh. Oh my gosh. I would say 7 seasons. 7 seasons.
I'm glad you're sitting down for this because there were 22 seasons.
Kill me, AD, kill me. I want you to jump through that computer screen, and I want you to kill me.
And it's been on since 2011. Is
it still going? Is it still like new episodes?
I believe it's still going.
You know what? I think it is still going because
it is still going. Yes,
there are 2 episodes here at 8 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. that are in bold. That tells me those are new episodes of Ridiculousness.
Hey, you better set your calendar. There's a new episode this week. So
son of a bitch. This is Ridiculousness. All right. I gotta move on. And
the girl's name is Chanel West Coast, in case you're wondering.
Her last name is West Coast?
That's her name.
Wow. That's okay.
Oh wait, no, her real name is Chelsea Chanel Dudley.
Oh, Dudley sounds like more of an actual name. All right, let's before we get out of here, let's hit with the Frank fact. Frank fact.
Yeah.
Each week we hit you with a fact that you can take with you to learn something. Look, you will not watch an entire or listen to an entire episode of the Junk Drawer without learning something. That is our goal. That is our mission.
Us too.
Because we don't host this show without learning something.
Well, and we also just learned something that the girl in Ridiculousness is not Rob Dyrdek's sister.
And there you go. That could be the Frank fact.
But it's not. That's why you're lucky.
It's something way more interesting than that. All right. So this week's Frank fact: Harriet Tubman, the mastermind of the Underground Railroad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, an American icon. All right, maybe on the $20 bill. I don't know where we stand with that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's awesome.
Talking about putting her on the $20 bill.
I thought that was approved. Yeah.
I think that'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah. Harriet Tubman was alive at the same time as both John Adams, old John Quincy Adams,
Johnny boy,
and Ronald Reagan. All right, now, and you're probably like, wow, that's a long time. Let me put it in these terms, okay? And this is when it really resonated with me when Frank texted me. He goes, Frank texted and he said, you can say, he goes, if this doesn't sound wild for you, you should add that John Quincy Adams, the second president in the United States history, and Ronald Reagan, the 40th.
Oh my gosh.
So from the second president to the 40th, she was alive at the time John Quincy Adams was walking this earth and the time that Ronald Reagan was walking this earth.
That I just I can't fathom that.
Harriet Tubman, man. You want to talk about longevity? All right. You want to look, LeBron's still dominating at 37. Big whoop. All right. Harriet Tubman was still dominating from John Adams to Ronald Reagan. That would be like if LeBron played with Wilt Chamberlain and Tyler Hero.
Just like the complete opposite ends of the spectrum there.
Right. Just the oldest of the old to the newest of the new. Like, that's pretty impressive.
That is
damn impressive. Harriet Tubman. Shout out to the Tubbs. Shout out to the Tubmeister.
So they don't even know when she was actually even born, but there was enough of a crossover that they were for sure alive at the same time.
Speaking of basketball, Harriet Tubman crossed over with John Quincy Adams.
Just unbelievable.
Just unbelievable.
And Ronald Reagan died in 2004. So like, that's just.
What if Harriet Tubman was still alive in 2000?
If she was,
do we know when Harriet Tubman died?
Yeah. We do.
When did she die?
1913.
Oh, and wait, when did Ronald Reagan born? When was he born?
1911.
Wow.
So, I mean, it was definitely pretty close, but that is insane.
Look, the Tubsters, long run. That's a good ass run.
I mean, she was not almost 100, because I think, oh yeah, she almost was. She's in her 90s, perhaps.
Shout out to Tubman.
Yeah, that's a good
Frank fact. Good Frank fact.
That's one that I was never expecting, actually. So that
same.
That was a good one. Yeah, I mean, I never expected Frank fact. What am I talking about?
I know. He always hits us with something. Yeah, it's always the most random thing we can think of. So shout out to Frank. Thank you for our Frank fact each week. Before we get out of here, I'll say this. Obviously, we would ask you that you like and subscribe. If you subscribe to this on podcasts, wherever podcasts are found, you can subscribe to the Junk Drawer. Don't miss us every single week. You can obviously catch us here every Monday at 5 Eastern, 4 Central. Just to kill off the last hour of your workday, probably just to let you kill time before you have to stop working. Also follow us on Instagram. Not the original account.
But if you're an exclusive member, you'll follow.
We're still trying to get the original Instagram account back at Korked2, though. I'm not saying we are sitting on it, but I'm not saying we're not sitting on it right now, just in case. Trying to build that up. If by football season we don't have an Instagram account back, we will. We're gonna go full steam ahead. Full court press with the Instagram account with our new account. So at Korked2 on Instagram. Look, people say the sequel is never as good as the original. Let's just say that Korked2, with what AD and I are planning for this new Instagram account, it's going to be the Empire Strikes Back. It's going to be the Godfather 2, the Terminator 2. It is going to be the Big Mama's House 2 of sequels. Okay. It is going to be the one sequel that is the exception to the rule. It is going to be better than the original. So go ahead, be an early adopter now, so you're there for our first post when it drops at Korkedbats2 on Instagram.
And might as well turn on post notifications too for when that does drop. You don't want to miss it.
Turn on post. That's a good idea, AD. Turn on post notifications when you do follow at Korked2. Turn them on, because you never know when we're going to drop it. We are planning something. We're going to plan a return, and we're going to hit it hard for football season. That is, if we don't get our actual Instagram account back, which
we're still crossing our fingers.
Which hopefully we're still hoping for. We're not waving the white flag. We're having our backup plan ready.
We just have hope, and that's all we have right now.
So, AD, do you have anything you want to share for the road?
You know what I always say, guys? It's getting hot out there. Don't forget to water your plants.
Do not forget to water your plants, people. Do not forget to water your plants. All right. That's going to do it for us this week. We appreciate all of you guys who watch and support, comment along. Yeah.
One more thing. Preseason is back. We got the Hall of Fame game this week.
Yep. Hall of
Fame.
And
it's the Steelers.
Thursday night. Oh, is it? Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Who are they playing?
Cowboys.
Oh, a little Super Bowl 30 rematch, huh?
How about that?
Oh my gosh. You think they still have bad blood from Super Bowl 30?
Oh yeah.
Neil O'Donnell's gotta throw, do the coin toss, right?
Oh, absolutely. And Alan Faneca and Polamalu, I think, is getting inducted in the Hall of Fame. So.
Oh, really? Oh, nice.
Yeah. So it'll be pretty cool.
Damn, I see you, Steelers.
Yeah.
Jeez, must be nice to have a historical franchise as your favorite football team.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess what do I say on the way out? What is the word?
Ahoy.
Oh, that's right. Ahoy.
Mm-hmm.